You got to keep an eye on this guy.
So the setup is the most beautiful September of my life. And I was housebound for about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks for a bad back. And my calf froze up. And all I could do is walk to 7-Eleven. So I was constipated, too much cheese. So I'm home a lot, and I'm looking for things to do that don't involve a lot of walking. So I'm cleaning out bags. I'm taping old music. So about 2 weeks ago, I took my first bike ride, probably since middle of August, and it was good. And I said, I'm going to go for a long walk. And a long walk, I was trying to be reasonable with myself. I said, go to a museum, walk around the Great Lawn, and come back. It's going to be about a mile. I'm on 82nd in York. So I take my bag, and I head up to the museum, and I swing around to the south side of the Great Lawn. So I'm going to go look by the turtles at the castle. So I'm looking at the turtles, and I instinctively take out my cameras, take so many friggin' pictures of this thing. I'm not doing it. And a little more background. The day before I take this walk, I get out of bed and I feel this enormous pain in my sphincter. Sphincter.
That's the word.
My pie hole. And I was like, ow. So I go in and I take a poop, and it's like I have a baby. I go, what's that about? My hiney never hurt. My hiney never hurt. And it's like, what's down there? Now I'm by myself. I live alone. So of course, I go get my camera. So now I got a couple of pie hole nut pitches. And it doesn't look that bad, so I'm not that worried. I figure, I'll go to treat release. I'll go up 86th Street and let him check my hiney. And it's good to see that it doesn't look that bad. Next day, I take my walk. I go up to the museum. I go to the castle. I walk around. I go past the Frank stand that's always there. And I look up past the Tempest statue at Romeo and Juliet. And their heads are on fire. Now, every season I capture those statues from different angles in snow, with the fall, in summer, with the blossoms in spring. I said, man, I've never caught them with the heads on fire. So I get my bag and I start running around. Now I'm running for the first time in about 6 weeks, so I probably look like Richard Jenkins. What was the movie where he's got the one-armed guy? He said the one-armed guy did it.
The Fugitive.
The Fugitive.
Yeah.
So I'm running.
Michael Jackson.
I'm running like this, and I got the bag over my shoulder, and I'm running around, and it's not that far, and here comes a police SUV. And he's aiming for me. He's not going that way. He's aiming this way. So we about reach each other, and I hear, hey, you, stop. I figure it's not me, and I keep going. Hey, you, stop. Come back here. I was this close to giving him sass. I mean, real sass. I was so righteous. I got nothing. So I turn around and I go, I'm just going over there. In 10 minutes, I'm going to lose the light. The heads won't be on fire. And he looks at me like I'm nuts. Romeo and Juliet, the light's hitting their heads. They look like they're brass, and it's exploding. And he goes, come back here. What are you doing? I'm a writer. I'm a photographer. I want to go over and I want to photograph them. He goes, show me some ID. Now, as I said, I was cleaning a lot of things out, and this was my first walk in about 6 weeks, maybe 5 weeks. So I go into my bag, and I have no wallet.
Oh, no.
I said, wait, let me give you my business card. Now, I always have a bunch of those little craps on the side. I have no business cards. So now it's a bad cop and a good cop. The bad cop's an Italian American with a buzz cut, he's 35. And then the good cop is an Asian American, and he's already smiling, watching his partner get mad at me for almost running away. So the bad cop is giving me the business, and he says, "You're a photographer? You got no photos?" And the good cop's around here, and he goes, "What's your name?" And I say, "Thomas R. Pryor. You can look me up." In the meantime, I'm talking to the bad cop. And he says, "You're a photographer? Let me see one of your photos." Now, the day before, I was taking pictures of my ass. And unfortunately, there was nothing good to look at on the way over from York Avenue to 82nd and 5th around.
No, Tommy.
So now I got my Canon and I'm ready to show him I can shoot. Now they're obviously profiling somebody, because to stop me, there must be a dark hair, peppered hair, 5'10" guy, looking like me, who has done something unfortunate to another human being. Maybe pervert. So I'm all about to give it to him. And I go, no. And I remember. And he goes, "What's the matter?" I go, "Well, it's a picture of my girlfriend. I don't want to show you. Look, last night we got together. It was one of those things, blah, blah, blah." He goes, "Give me the camera."
Oh my God.
As he says, "Give me the camera," the good cop comes around and he looks at me like this. Then he looks again at his 4G device. And he goes, "Yep, look at his ears. There he is, right there in the New York Times article at 13 years old. He hasn't changed." That's him. That's Thomas Pryor. Forget the camera. Goodbye. That's it.
Oh.